It's Monday, August 21st. We want to welcome everyone to our city council meeting. We'll call this city council meeting to order. If everyone would please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Deb.
Harley.
Here.
Brad. Rodney.
Here.
Tyler.
Here.
Don.
Here. I would entertain a motion to approve today's agenda.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, Deb.
Harley.
Yes.
Rodney.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Don.
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Across the mayor's desk, I just want to thank Jacob Shutter. He's our videographer today. And just a reminder that school begins Wednesday, the day after tomorrow. So everyone, please drive carefully. And today, August 21st, is National Fentanyl Prevention and Awareness Day. And it was established in remembrance of those lost to illicit fentanyl poisoning and to acknowledge the devastation this drug has brought to hundreds of thousands of affected family members and friends. This is a day of a coordinated response from fentanyl awareness organizations and affected families, sharing their lived experiences as part of a whole group, warning and informing our youth, the public, and the unsuspecting. So this is a serious drug that affects many unsuspecting people, so I would just encourage everyone to read and become educated on the local work to help mitigate this devastation. So, council have anything they would like to share? Okay, we'll move then to an update from the city administrator.
Just a few updates. McGregor Street will be closing this Wednesday and Thursday, so August 23rd through 24th, for the asphalt patching at the Worcester Street intersection to be completed. We had hoped to get that done before school started, but we're going to miss that deadline. But that will be closed for the 2 days as they do the asphalt patching on that. And then in proximity with that, they'll begin paving on Worcester Street, and Heartland asphalt is in town today, prepping work, and you should see a lot of asphalt work taking place the rest of this week and into next week. And then just want to remind folks of an upcoming event we have this Saturday, August 26th in Central Park from noon to 5. Basic T-shirt company is organizing an event with some skateboarders to highlight our new skate park, which is open. If you have driven by Central Park today, you'll see there's a lot of activity going on there, so we're coordinating with the construction crews to kind of have the site stage and ready to accommodate those folks, but that'll be this Saturday beginning at noon. And then I just wanted to share a reminder on the upcoming city elections. So the city's elections take place in odd years, and this year we have a few different seats up. The mayoral term, which is a 2-year term, Ward 2, Ward 3, which will be a 2-year term to fill the vacancy of with Jody Alt, Ward 4, which is a 4-year term, and the at-large, which is a 4-year term. So candidates can take out papers now. They are due to the auditor's office by September 21st, 2023. You can go on, if anyone's interested, you can go to the city website, see this press release, take a look at the ward map to see what district or ward you're in, or call City Hall if you have any other questions. That's all I have.
Oh, good, thank you. Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 7, and this is the citizens' opportunity to address the council on any item that's not on the agenda. Anyone here like to speak? Seeing no one that would like to speak, we'll move to agenda number 8, agenda item, and this is the consent agenda, and that includes approving the minutes from our August 7th work session and regular city council meeting, approving the bills that are to be paid this cycle, and approve Jacob's administrator's report.
To approve.
Second. We have a motion from Harley, second from Tyler. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Harley.
Yes.
Brad.
Yes.
Rodney.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Motion carried. Move to agenda item number 9. This is a public hearing. It's 5:05, and we will open this public hearing. This is a public hearing regarding the status of funds for the Community Development Block Grant.
So we have our grant administrator from the North Iowa Area Council of Governments, and I'll invite her up to share the information for this public hearing. Yep.
Hello, my name is Heidi Nielsen. Like you said, I am from the North Iowa Area Council of Governments. We are administering a grant on behalf of the city of Algona. The city's program is being funded by a $249,794 community development block grant awarded by Iowa Economic Development Authority in November of 2021. The funds are being used to rehabilitate the exterior of owner-occupied homes in the community and then to address the base paint issues inside and out where it's applicable. The target is to rehabilitate 6 homes with this grant. And so far to date, we have only gotten 2 of the homes finished. We got a little bit of a slow start because we have a lot of staff turnover, but we're on track right now, and we should be able to finish the last 4 homes by the October 31st, 2023 completion date. And so far to date, $103,106 in the grant funds have been drawn down or requested to date. Upon completion of the remaining projects, assuming there are no change orders, there'll be approximately $191,561 in community development block grant funds that will be expended. And that changes the original budget slightly. The original, upon completion, about $138,561 will be spent on the rehabilitation of all homes. That's exclusive of all the administrative fees. So the $5,000 city application fee leads to $138,561 to boost the health and safety and soundness of the community homes. So for every dollar that the city puts in, they get $28 back in improvement of properties. We kind of touched on it before. The main objective of the exterior housing program is to increase the supply of safe and sound housing for low to moderate income islands, particularly Algona. In this regard, the income limits that are set for the program are calculated by HUD, and they are updated on an annual basis. So to be eligible for the program, individual or household has to be under 80% of that low to moderate income household amount. And all of the homeowners selected will meet those limits. And that's just a quick, overview of kind of where we are and where we're going and where we're going to be, ending in October. So, you guys have any questions or?
Just one, you mentioned it's mitigation of lead paint. Is that just covering it, or does it have to be removed otherwise?
No, they don't do abatement, they do lead stabilization,
Okay.
And the only time it would be abatement is if it's like incidental to the construction process, like replacing windows.
Oh.
It's going to abate that lead in
Sure.
the windows, but otherwise they just stabilize the paint.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have not received any public comments in regard to the hearing notice.
Okay, all right. It's 5:09, and we will close the public hearing then, and we'll move to new business agenda item number 10. And this is an agenda item that approves the pay application for the mill and overlay projects.
I'll invite Matt Cole to address this and the following items.
your packet, you'll have pay estimate number 2 for the mill and overlay project 2023 street improvements, the amount of $170,669.31. That is work completed through July. Just a quick project update. Like Jacob said, Heartland is in town, and they plan to get a lot of paving done this week. They're going to focus on patching on Wooster Street and Woodward, and then the east block of Elm, and then bring the mill in, get everything milled, start up the Gregor patch for the detour we set back up for the road closure, and pave the overlay part of Wooster, and put the bottom lift in Elm Street on the full block reconstruction. So hopefully by the end of the week, it'll be all paved except the last overlay lift on Woodworth and Elm. If the week goes perfect, they may be able to get that done as well. But the temperatures, they might not be putting in full days, especially chasing the paper down the road. So tentatively, we'll get some mix down this week and get access back to a lot of those properties. Durant Street, water testing is almost completed, waiting on bacteria test results. We'll have those in the morning. And if those pass, we'll start services on Durant Street. There's 5 services remaining. That should be done by the end of the week. And then they can start grading and we get work on that, start curve shortly after. And we can pave Durant Street, hopefully in relatively short order. I know some of these streets have been running for a while, so looking to get some of these hard surfaced and start to get better access so we can get dirt work done and get seating completed as well. Library work is going to start tomorrow, tentatively. Focus on the north end, get the new concrete tied into the north end of the library so they can have access kind of throughout the rest of the west side and south side construction. Wicks is in town pouring concrete, finishing up what's left of Elm Street. There's 1 driveway and some 10 ramps left, a little bit of sidewalk. That should be done by the middle of this week, so the pavers can get in there and pave the rest of it out. You want to jump into Finn and Wooster too?
Let's go ahead and approve this pay application then.
Yeah, motion to approve Heartland's pay application.
Second.
I have a motion from Rodney, second from Don. Any discussion? Roll call, Deb?
Harley.
Yes.
Brad.
Yes.
Rodney.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Motion carried. Agenda item number 11. Pay app.
All right, this is pay application number 3 for the Finn and Wooster project for Reading. Total paid on this one, $640,527.05. This obviously includes most of the paving on Wooster Street itself, the main line, so it's a big number. Schedule for that street is Wooster is soft open. All the residents have access to their driveways. Seating is going to be taking place next week potentially. So with that, we're just going to kind of leave it. So we can talk at the construction meeting tomorrow, but planning on just leaving it accessible to the residents until the seating is done. We can just open the road completely. The Kennedy Street intersection is open. Access for bus routes kind of Minnesota and Kennedy anyway. So with the amount of school traffic that may be on Wooster Street and the seating work that we have remaining, I think it's beneficial to just leave it the way it is, get resident access in there and keep the school traffic off of it while they get the last little bit done early next week. Finn Drive, their grading is almost complete, should be done tomorrow with all the grading out there. Concrete crew was scheduled for early September, sounds like maybe mid-September now, to get that road paved out, so there'll be a little coordination. With all the businesses out there that have access, and they will continue to have access throughout the paving process, with the 3 businesses out there, Bacious, Cuisine, and Snap-on. So we'll coordinate that effort with Reading and affected businesses. Smith Street, rough start date is the week after Labor Day, it's the Tuesday after Labor Day. They'll be grading 1 week and concrete work the next, so it'll be kind of a quick in and out project with some couple days of grading and a few days worth of concrete work, getting to your time and flipping around and doing the other half of the parking lot area to have some access during construction. So that's kind of the first couple weeks of September. school to work on that project. Central Park, I guess, Jacob, if you want me to give an update on all that's
Yeah, sure.
moving along. Electric work's going on. Concrete work started today with the sidewalk. The grading has been completed in phase 1 section, kind of north and east side of the skate park, and then along the west parking lot on the northwest side of Central Park. That will continue throughout the week. They got concrete ordered for every day. They'll try and get as much of that done and ready for the skate park open house that's happening on Saturday. So, we got a bunch of stuff going on there now. It looks like a mess, but they'll get it cleaned up by Saturday at noon. And yeah, nice to see progress there. And there's been 3 crews working there pretty much since the end of last week. So, making progress. Any other questions? Thank you.
Yep, thank you, Matt.
Move to approve pay app number 3.
I'll second.
Motion from Don, second from Tyler. Any discussion? Roll call, Deb?
Harley.
Yes.
Brad.
Yes.
Rodney.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Motion carried. Agenda item number 12 pertains to a zoning amendment request.
Yeah, and from.
The Cassuth County Fairgrounds have submitted a request to amend the zoning classification of the fairgrounds property. So this item would be to refer that matter to the Planning and Zoning Commission so they can review and make a recommendation. If you'd like to come up and speak at this time, you can, but there's no obligation to.
Just to give you an idea of what the plan is. My name's Ben Carroll, I'm with
Okay.
Cassuth County Fairgrounds. So we have an LED sign out by the highway that sits blank 95% of the time of the year. So I wanted to advertise outside of the fairgrounds on that sign, generate revenue for the fairgrounds improvements. We all know that there needs to be some improvements there. So per the DOT, the land has to be zoned as industrial or commercial for even to allow
The highway sign.
off the grounds.
Yeah.
This, and, I mean, we have to move the sign, because there's a triangle in there of, like, the sign sits on the corner of 169 and Fair Street, so I have to go 50 feet south from the property line, 50 feet to the west, and then an imaginary triangle across there from them 2 points, and that sign has to be outside of that triangle to advertise outside of our property. So my first step is to have it rezoned, because if I can't rezone it, then it's just dead water, and the DOT really won't even consider it. But, so I was trying to get, that's my whole purpose of why I want it to be rezoned, and just so you guys are sending something off to somebody to give them an idea why. And just my plans, I think it could be a very lucrative sign if I pencil the numbers on it. You know, I figure the DOT requires your sign has to advertise for at least 8 seconds. I mean, it can't be it can be 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute if you want, but it has to be at least 8 seconds. And if I could go to 450 businesses and advertise their business on that sign, guarantee them you will see your advertisement for 8 seconds every single hour, every single day, 51 weeks out of the year when I'm not advertising for the fair, for $300 a year, which people told me is cheap. I mean, that's $135,000 that we could really use for improvements for a sign that does nothing. So
Ben did come into my office and we went through the zoning code and came up with Highway Service Business District would be the proper way for them to go. They do have a display room with the museum and such out there. They sell things at the races, they sell things during the fair. So I think it would qualify for the HSB classification rather than Conservation District to change.
And then HSB falls under their industrial or commercial.
Commercial.
Per the DOT, it'll fall under either one of those. So I do want to thank Barb, she was very helpful.
Good, thank you.
Was patient with me and, to be honest with you, I really didn't know what I was getting into, and she was very helpful, so.
Good.
So,
Thank you, Barb.
Good luck to you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Refer it on, wait to hear what they say.
thank you.
As you say, it's a very nice sign, very visible, and, I mean, I read it quite often, see what's going on at the fair.
I appreciate it, some people don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, motion to refer it to planning and zoning.
Second.
We have a motion from Rodney, second from Brad. Any other discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Harley.
Yes.
Brad.
Yes.
Rodney.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Motion carried. Agenda item number 13 pertains to appointment to the tree board, and this is to fill the term of Scott Rath. Well, not fill the term, but his term did expire the end of June of this year, so we are needing an appointment for that.
As I mentioned last time, I had talked to someone and I revisited with them, and Ann Nearson has agreed to be a member of the tree board, if so chose by the council. So I'd recommend that we appoint Ann Nearson.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to appoint Ann Nearson to the tree board. Any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Harley.
Yes.
Brad.
Yes.
Rodney.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you, and thank you, Ann, for agreeing to serve on the tree board. And agenda item number 14, this is the final notification of vacancy and appointment for the Library Board of Trustees. And this appointment is to fill the remainder of Siri Hartsfield's term, which expires June 30th of 2028. I've been in contact with a gentleman by the name of Dylan Lynch. He contacted me and expressed an interest in serving on the library board of trustees. So I visited with Lori Walton, and she visited with him, and she thought he would be a good member for the library board, and I agree with that. So I know him, Dylan. So I would recommend that we appoint Dylan to the library board of trustees to fill the remainder of Siri's term until June 30th of 2028.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Harley.
Yes.
Brad.
Yes.
Rodney.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. And thank you, Dylan. I'm sure the library board's looking forward to working with you. So it's good to have those two appointments filled. So we'll move into agenda item number 15, which is general discussion.
This, I have nothing in particular. It's just with such a short agenda, putting it together, I thought, well, if there is something that wants to get brought up, this would be a good meeting for it. But, so if there's anything, city business, otherwise, I have nothing in particular to discuss.
Anybody have anything, any questions or?
I think Matt answered most of my questions, at least earlier.
Okay.
Where we were on stuff, timeframes.
All right.
Okay, it's 5:24, and I would entertain a motion then to adjourn today's city council meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. The meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone.